Lads, have you ever felt on top of the world only to be rudely awakened by a small little setback? One that just knocks you completely off your kilter, your frequency, and just destroys your momentum. Well, in today I'm going to essentially dive into how we can stop that from happening and unravel the secrets which are holding you back from building that unshakable confidence, that unshakable momentum with yourself, who you want to be, and essentially the process that comes in between in terms of how you actually get there. So here's the thing, in life, when you're waking up every single morning full of energy, full of enthusiasm, crushing your workouts, nailing your macros, following through on your daily growth habits, the stars are aligned. You feel in a high frequency. You don't feel like anything's missing anymore. You're being your truest, most authentic self. You feel like maybe for the first time that you, yourself, and the mission in which you've essentially set, the goal we'll call it, is actually within grabbing distance. And the crazy thing is to consider other people are also noticing you for your growth, your success, the work you're putting in, and how you're showing up on a day-to-day basis. And for the first time in a long time, maybe even ever, you're starting to notice yourself for being someone you actually admire. But sadly, as life tends to work, small inconveniences turn into big inconveniences. And before you know it, you maybe lose your job, you have a fallout with your missus, you maybe run into some financial issues, and then everything starts to unravel like a ball of wool in which you can't control. And sadly, because the person you currently are is still thinking with the mindset in which you currently have, rather than your level 10 self. So what seems to happen is you go straight to the fuck it button, you go straight to self-sabotaging behaviors, because your identity is not solidified strongly enough with who you know you can and should be right now, which inevitably leads you to feeling the fear of failure and essentially doubting yourself in your very next move, because you actually care only about what the external perceive you to be rather than how you internally feel. The thing is, in life, when you are completely aligned in being your most authentic self and you have a goal, a mission, and a purpose, you cannot let small little inconveniences become more than they need to be. There has to be little to no importance placed upon these issues, these setbacks, and these circumstances. Otherwise, you will find yourself only looking at the verge when you're going around a bend. And what do I mean by that? I mean you only focus on the problem rather than the solution. You only focus on the negative downside rather than the positive upside in terms of the substantial growth you might actually experience when you're going through quote unquote a hard time. And although you know that life will be hard and nothing is ever guaranteed, you need to realize that there will be periods of your life, of your growth, of your overall transcendence from where you're at to who you need to be, when life will just be harder than it currently is. You will face challenges, you will feel like you're swimming upstream. And that will lead you to believe that all of the effort in which you're putting in might not actually be worth it. You know, people say the grass is greener on the other side, but au contraire, I do believe the grass is greener where you water it. And if you have a certain selection of habits, let's say tools as well, mindset, tactics, routines, whatever it is that keeps you grounded and stable, well, if you actually focus all of your energy and effort on improving them and how you hold these tools, you know, then you might actually find yourself in a better position to fix the issue faster, with more control, more flow, more slickness. And that way you can actually start rebuilding the life that you want, even when a small setback does actually happen. Because it comes down to a true test of character, doesn't it, guys? When you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're thinking, fuck, that was another setback. But am I really the person in which I see in reflection, the guy that I truly want to be? Is he someone that would fold, bend, break, shake when something bad happens? Or are you going to be someone who finds a reason to keep on pushing through and step into willingness off the back of being contracted in a negative space? Because when you can be willing enough to do the work, accept responsibility for your circumstances, You will therefore find the love, the joy, the peace inside the process, which continues to allow you to level up, expand, and remove the negativity from what it is you might currently be experiencing. Because guys, we wake up every single day in a neutral position. Mentally, you might not want to tackle your day, but you know the real reason behind why you now need to do this. Rather than falling into fear, anger, guilt, shame, frustration, all of the lower frequency states, which therefore become a negative pendulum and start to control you, you can actually choose. This is the thing, it's not a want or a need, it's a choice to actually step out of what you believe to be true into a realm of believing. Because guys, everything that you've ever wanted is already inside you. And I'm here today to tell you, it is on you, it is up to you to be the best you, so you can live the best quality of life. Because you can do this. No matter how hard life may feel or be right now, you can do this. You can build the body, you can make the money, you can have an amazing relationship, you can control your emotional state, you can internally validate yourself based on your habits, traits, philosophies and values, rather than put all of your external energy on the validation you get from others around you, which never serves you. You know, you're trying to play a game which you can't actually win. You're playing life on hard mode, chasing the external, the material, the financial, rather than stacking the internal competence through the work in which you know you should be doing on a day-to-day basis, which actually removes all the pressure from achievement and puts it all into the process, which is where the true growth is actually found. Because when in life is it actually a good fucking decision to give up on being the best you? When has it ever been a good decision to not be better, to not achieve your goals, to not take it one step further? Because even when you do feel overwhelmed, that's your body and your brain signal telling you this is out your comfort zone, which is only where growth happens. And of course you might feel like an imposter sometimes, of course you might feel challenged or stressed or anxious, but those emotions are completely warranted given you're actually growing at a rate that is warranted the level of success that you want, even when all the little shit things happen in life. Because guys, fucking hell, what is today's problem? Who do you need to be to solve it? That is all that you should be looking at your life and the lens you should be looking at your life with. Rather than thinking, oh, a problem, a challenge, I've lost this has happened. You're looking at all the negative things, the things that are taking you away from being your best self. Rather than thinking, right, how can I proactively fix this today? How can I proactively be the very best version of myself today to handle what is now on my plate, what is now necessary for me to deal with like a fucking man with balls and a cock, and actually show up and be the best me, so I can just own my life. I can lead with dominance, leadership, confidence, certainty, and a clear head on my shoulders knowing I am doing the fucking work. And this is why inside all of my elite programs, I make sure each and every single one of my clients is absolutely bulletproof from the neck up, allowing them to weather any storm in which they might be facing personally, professionally, physically or psychologically, so they actually have the confidence installed so they can deal with any real world problem as it arises, rather than falling bellies up and just flapping like a little baby in the floor looking for someone to come save them. That, my friend, would be a victim. And we do not deal with victims. We want victors. We want people who are always looking for the upside. Someone who is willing to, you know, fucking drag their balls through fucking firing glass to get to the other side. That is where the real men are fucking born, through the challenge, rather than just getting your back against the wall and feeling overwhelmed and stressed. It's like, come on guys, this is not you. You are not put on this earth to feel those emotions, even though they're completely warranted, completely normal when you're going through a hard time. You're not meant to be someone who lets them own you. You own your own thoughts, you own your own destiny. Like I said earlier in this video, everything that you've ever wanted is already inside you. You just need to remove the importance from achieving it now and be him now. Be the guy who deals with it now. And that way you don't need the result, you don't want the result, you have the process which allows you to become and be who is always going to pull it off no matter what. So in life guys, all that your focus should be is on building the man, building the habits, building the identity and the daily growth habits into your life, so you actually have enough self-worth already installed so you can show up and deal with any of life's little trials and tribulations, any of the tricky circumstances in which we might call them, so you can confidently approach life with the real world systems and approaches that allow you to stick to your long-term mission and vision. And I want to put emphasis on long-term here, because nothing good ever came easy, and nothing easy was ever in a short. Everything that you need to do has to be along a large enough time horizon, so you actually create the space to grow and expand into who you now need to be to fill that gap. Otherwise, the gap between the gain is almost too scary to walk, because the current feelings and emotions you have right now do not back up the belief systems in which you now need to be the guy who walks that path. And like I've said, it's like, right, you can't sniff your way out of a cocaine problem. So if you have a mindset issue, the current brain in which you have, the current mindset in which you have will not get you out of that issue. You need to change mindset. And the only way to change your mindset is to unlock your beliefs. And you can only do that through reinstalling new belief systems through the growth habits, which quite frankly allow you to elevate into that high frequency state that I'm always speaking about, which put you in a position to think clearly and logically around who you have now always needed in your life today to deal with whatever gets thrown at you at any time, any place and anywhere. So guys, you might be going through a little bit of what I call a sticky wicket right now, a challenging period of your life, but I want you to hold on for dear life now, knowing that the only way you will ever be able to weather this storm is by being the best version of you, leaning in to a group of high performers, leaning in to support and accountability, leaning in to your mission and vision, your long-term goals, because right now with the short-term thinking you have, thinking this is the way life is always going to be, it's only going to dilute your real congruence and your real conscious in terms of the intuition in which you truly should own and walk with every single day when it comes to living a life on your own terms, being lean, jacked, powerful and strong, and actually having a mental state, mental real estate we'll call it, that is really, really aligned, really crystal clear, really something that inspires you to go one more, to just go that extra mile. Otherwise, you'll continue to live a life of doubt, shame, fear, guilt, uncertainty, and always retreat back to where you felt most comfortable, which in life we know is where people die, inside the comfort zone. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this style of content, more sit down, more formal, more actionable, then please rate, comment and subscribe. Follow the daily habits over at Lewis McFarlane Coaching on Instagram. And if you want access to my free self-mastery guide, please just click the link below. And guys, it'll blow your head off. There's 4 videos in that vault that are going to take your physique, your mindset, lifestyle and testosterone to the next level. And I know for a fact it's going to be super helpful for anyone ages between 25 onwards that is seriously looking to take a massive leap into their peak self. So guys, I will see you later. Much love. See you soon.